All right. The shop update with an actual update this time. So I've been busy. Can't say I've been productive, but I've been busy. So a lot of estate sales and some antique stores, and I found some stuff that's been useful and some stuff that hasn't been and some other stuff. So probably to start with is the newest addition to the shop as of last Friday. I got this guy. It is a lot heavier than I ever imagined it was, so I think, unfortunately, I damaged it getting it out of the truck by myself the other day. You might not be able to see it here, but these bearings where you adjust the elevation, there's just a slight tilt, so when I was pulling it out of the truck, it slipped and fell and hit right on the feed belt here. So if you look at it from the side, you can see the gap in the bearings is a little bit higher on this side than it is on this side, so it looks like I tweaked it just a little bit back. I'm not sure if I can straighten it out or what, but I mean, it still feeds, but with this being crooked, it makes it really hard to elevate. I don't know how hard it was to start with. Maybe I didn't do anything to it, it was already like that. And then maybe it's going to work just fine. I don't know if this is out of parallel coplanar. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. I'm going to try and tweak it. But the guy I got this from, he has several small single column dust collectors, and I've got one that really large double column dust collector that's really loud and a bit much for me. So he said that he'd be willing to trade. I sent him some pictures and he's still willing to trade, so I'm going to see what he's got to offer me, and I'll probably be downgrading to a single column dust collector here pretty soon. Also, at some of the estate sales I've been to, I lucked out and I got two of these power strips here for a few dollars. I'm really glad I didn't buy any because I've been looking for some lately, and they're $30-something in the store, which probably isn't that much in the long run, but at the time I've been I'm always spending a lot of money, so it was definitely somewhere I was like, well, let me wait, and I found these guys for a few bucks a piece, so I'm going to be getting those up on the wall. That'll definitely help things out because I only have one outlet on each side of the garage, one in the ceiling and one in the back, and one in the ceiling is obviously not really accessible. So this one, video's filmed, it's not up yet, but since the great movers that moved me out here from New York lost the leg to the stand I was using for this drill press, I went ahead and made this 3-drawer chest for it, and it's now the home of absolutely everything I own that's drill related. And then the only modifications I'm going to make is over here I was going to put a grinder, but now I'm going to go ahead and make a rack that these will go on, as well as holsters for the bit drivers in some fashion or another. I'm not sure exactly. The bit drivers and the drills are going to be going in there. So that's that. Pretty happy with it. The only thing I'm upset about is paying top dollar for those hinges at Lowe's when I discovered the scrap yard at work literally the next day, and I found 20 of those hinges for free. But by that time I'd already installed these and threw away the packaging and used up all the screws, so everybody's like, why don't you just take it back? But I'm not going to do that. There's no point. So a couple other things. Kind of in a mess right now. A lot of stuff in the mix. I got these yesterday. They're on sale at Costco for I think $30. So I'm going to put this up. I'm not sure how. I'm thinking I might try and run some 550 cord between these struts for the garage door opener and try and support this from the ceiling. It's got a motion sensor, so that should be interesting. Hopefully it's bright enough. I got this mat cutter and a couple other things at this one junk store, antique store, I guess you want to call it. It was kind of in a junk salvage department of it. For dirt cheap, because there's some picture frames I've been wanting to make, and I couldn't really pass it up. These were on sale at Woodcraft because for some reason the Woodcraft near me is outrageous. Well, no, all Woodcrafts are outrageously expensive. Sorry to say it, but these ones were on sale. They're a good price. Unfortunately, they're too big for the ports down here. So anyway, this table saw I got recently. Got a couple things recently actually. I got the drum sander, and I got this table saw here. It's a 2001 model year from Grizzly. It's not obviously a Power Mat or something like that, but right off the bat, this saw is amazing. It came with a rolling base, and the guy included a dado stack with it too. So it was the savings there. I definitely could not pass up. Also, the same place I got that those 2 power strips. I got this what appears to be a later model Diston rip saw, razor sharp. People on Instagram tell me that this is a very high quality saw from Diston, one of their best. And also had this EC Atkins back saw, also razor sharp. I'm not sure how well it comes out in the video, but the etching's still fairly prominent. It's one of the upsides about being in Arizona is the amount of rust here is a lot less than what you'd be looking at in upstate New York. So pretty pleased with this saw. Really like it. Look forward to using that, as well as a couple other things I got at that yard sale for. It was at a estate sale for a few dollars, just dirt cheap, including this giant square. So by no means do I believe this to be a precision device, but it's good for a quick and easy knocking down of 4x8 plywood and stuff like that. I picked this up at that same place as this. My intent is actually, I don't trust the integrity of it, but my intent was to be able to use this to rewire my boat trailer because it's due for a rewiring, and I figured at $14 for 50 feet, actually I think I paid less than that. It's a lot cheaper than buying the rolls individually to run the entire length. But something else that was cool is I also got this stuff for a few bucks at that same junk store. Keep going on junk store. Electrical cords. I've been rewiring a lot of my stuff lately, so, and shame on you, YouTube. So if I put rewiring in my subject line or my title, and YouTube flagged it saying it wasn't really advertiser friendly. So I deleted the video and I uploaded the exact same video again, and I said refurbishing instead of rewiring, and so far it has not been flagged. So I recently discovered the channel The Essential Craftsman, and I've really been addicted to that channel, watching everything they publish lately. And one of the things the guy mentioned in there on his Skill worm drive saw is most of his power tools he's rewired with like a 30 or 40 foot power cord on there. And that's one thing here with the new joiner and the air compressor that I've had. They all had short power cords, which made them really awkward. And right now, having only like 2 outlets in the entire garage, like everything has to be crowded up against it, or I have to use extension cords, and they're all over the place. So I've been rewiring and doing a lot of stuff, putting on longer power cords and buying them, at full retail at Lowe's and Home Depot. And then I find this guy, and he's got these for, power cord and all for a couple dollars. So I got an old Craftsman drum sander that I'm going to rewire with one of these, and I'm not sure which tool is going to get the other one yet. So good finds for fractions of the price of one that was brand new. This I found in that scrapyard at work where I found the drawer sliders. So I'm going to knock this down. I'm going to make some sort of sled that I can rip logs, small logs, on my bandsaw with. Basically, it's gonna have the track for the miter slot, and then I'm gonna have on the back of it. This is gonna come off. I will have places for the clamps to hold the log in place so it doesn't rotate and bind on the blade. So that's probably gonna be one of the first things I do to knock down. That way I can start knocking down some of these logs I've been dragging around. And also another thing from that guy that I got the drum sander from, that wants to trade me the dust collector. He gave me this giant blank. Basically, this is a lot of very heavy, solid piece. 23 3/4 wide by 35.5 inches long. When I was talking about making a workbench, he had this cut off from a project he was working on. It was a bar top, and he just gave it to me, and I definitely am going to be able to put this to use. I started making something out of pallet wood, and I just ran out of pallet wood that was decent enough. So I'm going to laminate those together and maybe dovetail them into this, and it should give me one that's about 6 feet long, and hopefully I'll have enough to be the full width. Um, really looking forward to that, and then I just got to figure out how I'm going to make legs for it. So, really happy with this. Today is my Powermatic Model 95 scroll saw. Serial number puts this thing at a 1980. It is giant, it is cast iron, and it weighs a ton. It has an oil tank, like an actual crankcase. I have to add oil to it. So I still need to change out the blower hose. It's old and dried out and rotten, and it's probably got a lot of leaks in there because it's pretty weak coming out this end. It still blows. But this is what I rewired because the wiring on it seemed to be even older than 1980. Coming out of here, you actually had bare wires and crackness. Coming all the way through, all the insulation was just cracking and chipping off all the way into the motor housing. So that's what I rewired. I got a video I haven't released yet, and it was titled Rewiring My New Old Powermatic Scroll Saw, and YouTube flagged it because it wasn't advertiser friendly in their opinion. So, shame on them. We'll see what happens now. Maybe I'll be banned for talking bad about them. But I know other people on YouTube, that have had trouble. iBuildit.ca. He had a video that was flagged because he was talking about wood joints, but he said joints. He figures that joint was the key word that caused him to get flagged. So YouTube's on a roll lately with cracking down on posts. So now it's time for me to get to work. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, check it out. One last thing. A friend of mine in Ohio opened up his barbershop. It's Rop's Barbershop in Troy, Ohio. If you're out there, please check it out. Get a haircut from him. It's a great guy. Just getting started with his own shop, and it really helped him out. So thanks for watching. Hopefully the next video will be a little bit more interesting. It works.